Welcome back to BetRacingNation. Now we're going to take a look at the 1,000 guineas, and we are going to start off with Rosina.
Why not?
Well, why not? Clive Britton seems very bullish about it. Should we get it in a double with Kingman, maybe?
Look, so you've got to look at her versatility for last year. She won at 5 furlongs and also won at a mile. So, you know, she showed she wasn't just an absolute speedball. I know she was beaten a couple of times, but, you know, I don't mind a horse which has a fair few runs at 2, gets plenty of experience and, you know, it learns a lot. But for me, the versatility of winning over 5 furlongs and then over a mile at 2 is quite something, I think, personally.
No, it is quite versatile, but, I mean, it's a race where you need to prove, well, it's a race that's only won by horses that can stay the mile.
Which is already proved she can do.
Exactly.
Although, like I say, you can say, you know, she has been beaten on a couple of occasions, but the horses, you know, when the horses are sprinting, you know, they take it in turns to beat each other. But, you know, she's beaten Tapestry fair and square, and I wouldn't see that being reversed here.
Well, you say that, but obviously the horse is still entered.
Tapestry?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, but Connections think they can beat Rosina.
Yeah, absolutely, but you don't think that's
no,
going
I
to be the
don't.
case.
I think, you know, the way that she beat her last time, she can do it again. But, for example, Lucky Cristal beat Rosina in the Duchess of Cambridge at Newmarket, but, you know, they're still confident. Clive Britton's still confident that he's got the better horse than George Marcus in there. So
but
Billy wants to say something.
Rosina has had 8 races. Does that worry you at all? I mean, someone like Tapestry's had 3 races.
We'll put it this way: Dawn Approach last year, well, not last year, the year before, had what, 6 races at 2, and he won the 2,000 guineas. I know, obviously, the difference between colts and fillies, but if you've got a horse who's good enough to take that amount of racing and, you know, is campaigned well enough, the trainer plans their races correctly, there's no reason why a horse which has run 6 times instead of 3 isn't going to be just as good at 3 to 2.
Well, no, it's interesting. Clive said that she's developed physically over the winter, which you'd want to hear, so that's a good sign.
Well, it's certainly encouraging, you know, for a horse, as you said, that's had so many races. You know, sounds like she may have trained on well over the winter.
Some of these horses are coming straight into this race? Aren't they? In fact, the majority are. Is it a guessing game, though? We're playing a guessing game. We've got 7-2 the favourite, taking a lot of money on Rosina, obviously because of the homework done, and lead horse to a far and trialled at home with Ryan Moore. But, I mean, is it a guessing game? Because these horses now will go on to bigger, better things. There's a number of horses here that will do
I don't think it's a guessing game, but I just think the 1,000 guineas compared to the 2,000 guineas, I think fillies can be a lot more temperamental, and there's been a lot more sort of, I wouldn't say major shocks, but, you know, Homecoming Queen was a shock. Blue Bunting, when Frankie won for Godolphin, that wasn't expected to win. That was about 12-1. You know, sometimes the fancied runners, they underperform a little bit.
I'm sure Jono's got an outsider to tell us about a little bit later on, but go on. Not quite yet, Jono. I know you're
itching for Punchestown on Jono, don't
Absolutely.
No, I was going to say, at the Guineas meeting, lots of horses come into the 1,000, 2,000 guineas having not had a prep race. It's their debut for the season, and like a lot of it is all depends on how well they've wintered and that sort of thing. But I mean, for me, Lucky Cristal at the price has to be worth a shot because, you know, having already beaten Rosina on the July course and fair and square, I might add. She
travels really well, Lucky Cristal.
Absolutely.
She won the Lowther.
Yeah, I mean, the way she won the Lowther was so impressive, and I was there, and I was watching that race, and I was absolutely blown away. I thought, that's certainly one to note down. And for me, I think at the price, I think I'd much rather be on Lucky Cristal than Rosina.
Billy, come on, Billy.
No, I'd agree with that. I mean, it'd be great for George Margerson, who's obviously a really nice sort of racing family. And I was impressed with Lucky Cristal. And of the fillies with a bit more experience, I think she probably is the best.
The only worry I have for Lucky Cristal is the fact that she did look, you know, she travelled well and she won going away in her races. Although, you know, she is stepping up from 6 furlongs to a mile. Now, obviously, we know Rosina has experimented over all distances at 2 and definitely stays the mile. I think Lucky Cristal, I'm hopeful she can stay the mile, but it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, after the Guineas, if she didn't win, they think, right, we'll go back to the drawing board and stick to 6 or 7.
Now, obviously, we are 10 days ahead here. I mean, the ground is going to be an important factor, isn't it, in this situation? We want good ground, don't we? Because it may spring a surprise if the going changes, and we're a little bit in advance of that. I mean, I was very impressed with my Titania, John Ox. Any views on...
Yeah, well, John Ox, I think he's only ever had one runner in the Oaks, Arch something or other, and she came second. So
in the Oaks?
Sorry.
That's all right.
In
you
the
know those comments
Guineas.
about you again on Twitter.
in the
dreaming of
1,000
Epsom
guineas.
already.
And so I'm sticking ahead too much. And the fact that he brings my that horse here,
My Titania.
my Titania indeed, has to be of
significance.
I think
of significance indeed. Yeah.
there's a key bit of form. Well, I say key bit of form from Royal Ascot last year, the Albany Stakes. You know, you've got 5 of the runners in this race in the betting that all came behind it. Obviously, it was won by Kyoshi. Sandiva was second, Joyeuse was third. Lucky Cristal was back in 6th that day, but I always say you can forgive a horse a bad one at Royal Ascot. And Princess Noor, who was back in the field at 9th, but she really started to improve towards the end of the year for Roger Varian. Again, like I say, you can forgive a horse a bad run, and I think Lucky Cristal has probably improved. She's gone on more than the likes of Joyeuse and maybe.
Yeah, that's what you're
I'll agree
looking
with
for.
that.
That's what you're looking for, Billy, isn't it? Horses
this
have
is-
improved, not necessarily ones that beat certain horses.
Yeah, this is
at
a
the
classic
early part of the
example
race.
of a race where going through the form book and analysing all the races doesn't really help you. A bit like Jeske winning the Champion Hurdle. This isn't about the races we were talking about last year are significant, but it's not about that. How these fillies have wintered, how they get to this day, what condition they get
But
to
it brings
this
you
day.
back to the guessing game scenario.
And it is
though.
a guessing. It is an educated guessing game.
Well,
I would say.
Like I say, the fillies can be temperamental, so
And all fillies need a degree of guesswork as well, don't they?
Well, yeah,
as we know.
in real life as well.
Yeah.
But there's more of a chance of a real shock happening for me in the 1,000 guineas.
Okay.
this year than there
I'll
is
tell you
the
what, before we
2,000
talk about
guineas.
potential outsiders, and I know the team have got a number of potential outsiders to look at, let's go over to Sam in Twitter Corner, see the current price and see what the audience at home are thinking on this particular race.
Well, I actually think, just looking through the prices and listening to the panel there, this is a fantastic race to get involved with something outside the front two. If you don't like My Titania or Rosina the Favourite, you can get double figure price anything else in the field. Not everywhere, but you shop around, you will find a double figure price. Even going up as high as 40s for Princess Noor that Adam was mentioning. Okay, in that bit of form with the others in there, did get beaten, but if you can forgive it that run and you think it's wintered well, 40 to 1 suddenly looks a huge each way price. You've also got best price about the favourite is 4 to 1, that stand out with Paddy Power. For the second favourite, you'd be looking at 8s across the board pretty much. Beyond that, you're going to get a double figure price if you start playing now. Obviously, as we get a bit closer to the race, there might be a few taken out. You're going to need to play fairly soon. You guys at home have really not kind of had one standout horse for this particular race. The vibes are coming for Kingman in the 2000 that we're going to talk about later, but this one's been a really even spread amongst you at home, and no one seems to have a particularly strong view on it. Maybe it's because, as Adam was saying, the fillies are a bit temperamental, but I think it's a fantastic race. If you've got an outsider, each way terms, they're not going to be amazing, but if you're getting a double figure price, it's a no-brainer. I'll pass you back over to the panel to see if we can find some value on that note.
Billy, just a very quick point on the betting side of things. Is it worth having a bet? Presumably, Rosina now, all the value's gone.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a big anti-pace fan, and this was highlighted in Lincoln where I really fancied One Word More, who was taken out at the last minute. So I saved my money. It's really not now. I mean, if you've missed the price on some of these fillies, there's no point backing the favourite at 72 now, in my opinion. You may as well wait. See how things are on the day. You can get bad vibes close to the race. You don't have a little bet now, but don't go steaming in now.
Okay, well if you want that little bet, and we're not just saying to take it off the grandma and go down now and you're guaranteed a winner, but I tell you what, we have got Jono here who picked the winner of the Gold Cup. So that's why I brought him back today, so that we can replay this in a couple of weeks' time and go, you gave us a couple of outsiders to the Guineas and they run really well, the 1,000 Guineas. Jono, what are a couple of the outsiders we should be looking at? Three there.
Perhaps Lightning Thunder, who has some great form. But for me, I mean, I don't really want to look past. Well, Vorder could be a big prize, one of the French horses, and But for me, I don't really want to look past Miss France and Mighty Taylor and Lucky Cristal.
Okay, so you're playing safe on this one.
Yeah,
so you've got the outsider
so,
comes in the other Guineas, right?
Sorry?
Does your outsider come in the other Guineas? Because that's
Yes.
what I bought you. It does, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what we're all
We'll get
looking
on to
forward
that later.
Miss France, why? Because obviously it's quite strong in the betting.
Okay, yeah, well, Miss France beat a horse called Indonesian, who's a subsequent Group 1 winner, I think won at the art meeting. That's obviously great form. Although she ran what could be described as a slightly disappointing prep race at Maison Lafitte a few weeks ago, Obviously, Andre Faber's left a fair bit to work on. However, I was thinking to myself, if he's left a fair bit to work on, is there actually going to be enough time? You know, because as I said, she was a bit disappointing in that race.
But he did bring Miss France over last year, and suddenly it won, and no one expected it to, didn't they? So,
well, I did actually have a bet that day.
Right.
On Miss France.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I just thought. But I don't know. I mean, Andre Faber, he doesn't waste any money on plane fares over here.
Yeah.
You know, he's coming over here to win. He probably thinks he has a good chance.
Okay. Billy, we're hoping you've got a big one here.
Yeah, I do tend in later years to prefer a horse to be fresh for these races. I'm not so keen on horses having a prep run personally. I actually like Tapestry, Aidan O'Brien's horse. Although she was beaten in the Moy-Glare by Rosina, she didn't get the best of runs. I'm not saying she would have beat Rosina, but she's quite an interesting filly because her sister went over 1 mile 6 furlongs. So you look at that and you think, ooh, she's only 12 to 1 for the Oaks. She might be more of an Oaks type, but I'll take a chance on her first time back. Maybe I'll have a bet on the filly's Triple Crown if someone can give me the odds on that.
Well, I mean, out of Galileo as well would have been proved this year.
Danehill mare, so she ought to be all right over the mile.
Yeah, see, this is the thing with me. I mean, Rosina, I followed through last year, and I was really happy that it won the Mile Clear. I think I got 7 to 1 in the morning, but Aidan O'Brien in these type of races can on the day do things that you think, oh no, you're very against Tapestry.
I'd be very surprised if Tapestry can turn around the form with Rosina, in my opinion. But like I said, what's my opinion worth compared to someone else's? But that's just my opinion.
We brought you here for your opinion.
Well, yeah, I said I don't think I'd be surprised if Tapestry turned around.
Have you
the form
got any
with Rosina.
outsiders, potentially viewers at home thinking, I want to have a bet each way?
I gave a little mention to Princess Noor. Roger Varon's always been very sweet on her. I think she just took a bit longer than they thought, really, to improve towards the end of last year. And when she did, she won a nice race at Ascot. The vibes have been quite good for her throughout the winter, and she apparently had a good winter. She's doing quite well now, and this has apparently been the plan going fresh. So, it's about 40 to 1 at the minute for a little nibble. But another horse, just to mention, obviously Sandiva won the Neil Gwynn last week. I don't think was given the credit she deserved, because given a great ride by Frankie. It was wide, saw quite a lot of daylight, but managed to come right in and win over the course in, actually over 7 furlongs, but she's around 20 to 1 at the minute. I think the first couple in the market are a little bit short, so there's plenty of value to be had. So if you're looking for a big one at a each way price, maybe Sandiva or Princess Noor.
Okay, this is where we go for the decision making on the race, and you can have one, you can maybe have 2. Jonas has 3. All short.
We'll give you the 1, 2, 3 if you want.
Absolutely. So I'll come to you first of all, Billy.
Yeah.
Your selection for the 1,000 guineas and maybe an alternative as a...
Yeah, my selection would be Tapestry. I shall back her for the Oaks before the Guineas. I think she's possibly an Oaks filly, but she could go well in this. Lucky Crystal, really from the heart. It'd just be nice to see that filly run well. Of the sort of more experienced filly, she would be my selection over Rosina.
Okay.
For me, definitely Lucky Crystal and a saver on My Titania.
My Titania.
Yeah.
If there's any clues on that, I like My Titania as well. I like Rosina, but they're the 2 I like. And Adam?
Like I said, I'm worried about the trip, but Lucky Crystal I think would have a great chance. And then 2 at a big price, obviously, Princess Noor or Sandiva.
Okay, let's quickly get over to Sam in Twitter Corner.
Yeah, like I say, I think a lot of you are quite mixed, a bit like our panel on that, and I think there's going to be, whoever picks the winner will probably get some fantastic value if it's not coming from the front 2 in the market there. Actually just got some breaking news that we just want to reveal to you, that a jumps track is going to be trialling for some flat racing in 2015, and that's Wetherby. So up north, if you like your flat racing, you're going to possibly get even more of it. Obviously we're looking to try and get an all-weather track up there as well, possibly with Newcastle. So there's an awful lot going on up in the north of England, and it makes interesting reading in the Racing Post as to why they're considering it. National Hunt fans may be quite interested to have a read of that tomorrow. Keep your tweets coming in, because we are going to try and mention your highlights of the season at the end of the National Hunt season, which climaxes towards the end of Punchestown, and also we've got the Bet365 Gold Cup that we're going to preview on Saturday here on Sports Tonight Live. I'll pass you back to Peter.
Okay, we are going to take a look at the 2,000 guineas. We are, very quickly, comment on the Wetherby move. No comment.
No comment.
Right, no comment. We're going to come back after this very short break. We are going to cover the 2,000 guineas. Is it all about Kingman? Find out after this.